What's up, everybody? This is Justin Flinner coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the Justin Flinner Podcast by My Metro Medicine. In today's podcast, I want to start by asking you a question. I want to ask you a question about yourself that may be a little difficult to answer. Is there something in your life that you wish you could change about yourself? Is there something that you do that you wish you could change about yourself? Do you have regrets? Do you have something that you wish you could have accomplished by now, or maybe you thought you might have, but you haven't yet? Is there a way of being that you know you need to change? Everyone has a way of doing things in their lives. Everyone has a pattern. Everyone has a method of figuring out who they are. All of these are rooted in the patterns that we develop over the years. Our patterns of speech, our patterns of movement, our patterns of thought. Think about it for a second. You run into a problem, small problem. Your head kicks in gear, starts to think of a resolution. The process of finding a resolution actually fits a pattern that you usually run through your brain. The pattern of thoughts, the train of thought as we call it. This is a pattern that helps you to feel more comfortable within a certain range so that you can actually resolve this problem. What if you let the problem be? As an alternative? What if you didn't think of actually trying to solve the problem? What if you allowed it to evolve in whatever way it decided that it would evolve without you trying to intervene at all? It might get worse. It might get better. It might stay exactly the same. We don't know. The point is, no matter the situation, good or bad, the choices that we make are based on the patterns that we develop throughout our lives. We are trained from a very young age as we go to school to think certain ways, to believe that certain topics, that certain activities, that certain achievements actually mean something to us and will get us somewhere. And by focusing on these learned ways of being, these learned ways of thinking, we are placed on a path that is essentially designed for us. But yet we say, yes, you can be unique as long as you stay on this path. The moment you step off of that path, the world looks at you as if you are absolutely crazy. They don't know how to interpret what it is that you are doing. One of the guys I've been following a lot recently is Gary Vaynerchuk. An entrepreneur, an investor. I mean, he has all kinds of labels on top of him. But what I see in what he develops is not just a unique way of being or an out-of-the-box way of thinking. He has found himself. He broke through the patterns that were taught to him at a young age. He broke through the patterns of society. He broke through the patterns of what, say, normal people are actually doing in their lives, and he decided to go off on his own. He did his own thing without focusing on the past, without focusing on the future, only focusing on what he could accomplish right now in the moment. He took advantage of every single minute that he possibly could, every single day, only to discover what it is he was capable of. Nobody could teach that to him, and nobody can teach that to you. You must discover it. The only way you can discover what it is that you are actually capable of as a human being is by letting go of everything else that you were told you should be doing. It does not mean you should forget it forever. It does not mean that it is worthless to you and how it can be applied in your life. It simply means to set it aside, step forward without it, and say, now what can I do? The patterns that we develop in our lives form our speech, form our every step that we take, form our actions, form our responses, form our reactions. They form our decisions. Everything that we do as a human being, everything that you do on a daily basis, whether it is from getting up in the morning to making your coffee, to eating your breakfast at a certain time, to having a particular schedule for, say, exercise, or maybe you have certain shows on television that you like to watch. All of those fit into the parameters of the patterns that you have developed within your life. Now go back to the questions I asked you at the very beginning. Are you in fact satisfied with who you are? Do you feel there are parts of you that need to transform? If you do, that means you need to break the patterns in your life that have brought you to where you are today. The patterns that, say, for example, you get into a nasty situation where you have an argument with someone, and your pattern is to pull inside. You let that person win because you feel that being passively aggressive is where it needs to take you. I hope you don't get into an argument, but perhaps this is a kind of pattern that you develop. After that, you decide you're never going to speak to that person. Why? Because they don't deserve your attention. They don't deserve to be standing next to you or anywhere near you for that matter. You will avoid them at all costs, but pretend that you are stronger than them internally and externally. This is an example of a pattern. An example of, say, a more positive pattern is you work really hard to achieve a certain goal, and once you do, you stop. You reach the end point. Now, why did you do that? Because you got praise probably from other people. Somebody said, you did a great job. And you said, yep, let me put that one on my resume. And then I'll add to my list. This is what I've done. This is what I've accomplished in my life. A resume is nothing more than a paper filled with glorified accomplishments that other people have recognized you for. Have you recognized yourself for what you have actually accomplished in your life? You don't need a resume to do that. Your resume is only to try to convince other people that you are who you say you are and that you're capable of what it is that you say you're capable of doing. You are attempting to prove yourself to other people. What if you went into a job interview and said, you know what? I don't have a resume. Let me tell you about myself, though. Chances are in this day and age, that's going to be really difficult to find an opportunity like that, but I bet you could. You called up someone that you really wanted to work for, and you said, you know what? I will do anything. I will do absolutely anything to sit here and work for you. I will take nothing in terms of pay for the next 3 months. All I want is the opportunity to prove to you that I have what it takes. They might never ask you a question after that. They might say, okay, let's see what you got. You get to work, show them a thing or two, who you're capable of, or what you're capable of, and who you are. Then things might unfold, things might not unfold. It all depends on how you live your life by developing or breaking down patterns in your life. We don't need to focus on the negative, and we don't need to focus on the positive. Although, focusing on the positive will get you much farther than it will the negative. Since we all only have one life to live, I suggest that we all get to the root of who we are as human beings so that we truly can see the potential of what it is that we can offer to this world. I was thinking earlier today, walking down the street, about myself and about other people. I was asking a question to myself, and I was thinking about how other people might ask themselves the question and what answer they might give themselves. The question essentially was, if this were my last day on earth, would I be satisfied with my contribution to the world? And I would have to say at this point in my life, yes. If this were my last breath, if this were my last podcast going out to you tonight, I would be satisfied. I would say, you know what? I've done my duty to this point. I figured out who I am. I figured out what I'm capable of. I may be scared, pardon me, I may be scared shitless from time to time, but you know what? I step up. I step up to the mic like I am right now. I step up to the plate. I step up on stage. I step into the treatment room. I step up. I leave my patterns behind me, and I say, you know what? We're just going to go for it. This is what I do every time I sit down here and I talk with you. This is what I do every time I walk into a treatment room. This is what I do every time I walk into a classroom right before I'm about to teach. And I think in my head, all right, here we go. Leave everything else behind me, put myself in the forefront, and I truly look inside and I get to see what it is that I am capable of. I don't care what patterns I've developed over the years because they're not with me at that point. I leave them behind. Right now, I have no script. I'm talking into a microphone, I'm looking at a screen, and that is all I need right now. Got a little music playing in my ear. Perhaps you can hear it. Probably not. That's not the point. The point is that I'm letting go. The moment I let go, things start to flow. Now, rhyme intended. And when you can reach this point, and I have a long way to go, trust me, I haven't reached the end. I'm only still at the beginning. When I look at the people that I can aspire to be and see what they've actually accomplished, I got a long way in terms of time, but I got a long way in terms of skill as well. But I am working my butt off to make sure that I get there and get past where they are. Why? Because I know that what I can do will be way different, but also perhaps even better what it is that they can do. One of the best lessons I learned in my life was that don't always strive for what people are capable of doing and what they have accomplished. Don't always try to be like anybody else. Only be yourself and work harder to get past where those people that you aspire to be have gotten in their own lives. The only way, though, that you can do that is to break through the patterns in your life. Break through the emotional patterns. Do you have a pattern of pulling inward when you run into a situation in your life that makes you a little uncomfortable? Do you have a habit of exploding outwards? Physically, what do you do the moment you start to feel tired? Do you automatically sit down, flip on the television, grab a bag of chips, a beer, a soda, and then just hang out on the sofa and binge watch for the next 5 or 6 hours? Is that what you do all weekend? Or do you get up and say, you know what? I refuse to be tired. I refuse to allow my body to tell me that I should sit down and relax. I will not give in. I will be the person who I am meant to be, and I will step up to the plate every single time. This is who I am, and this is who I am capable of. Spiritually, will you allow the beliefs of others to transform yours, or will you allow the opportunity to let yourself learn a little bit more about what other people believe in, about what other people believe in, and about what you can transform your own spiritual thoughts into? Do you open your heart fully to the opportunity to experience more in your life? Not just through the experience of a spiritual connection with religion, but an opening of your heart to the world, an opening of your heart to the universe, to the people around you, so that you can actually feel some kind of human connection. Do you allow that to happen? Or are you the kind of person who gets in an elevator, hides in the corner, and when somebody gets on, make a brief half-second moment of eye contact and then quickly look down at your phone or look at the floor? Your chances for human connection are the ones that will heighten yourself spiritually, will open yourselves emotionally, and will allow yourself to expand physically, to show your confidence in yourself, to show your ability to understand who it is you are and what it is that you are capable of. If you can't break through the patterns that keep you in the corners of the elevators, that keep you internally, emotionally, that is, if you can't break down these patterns, you will never experience what it is that you are truly capable of in this lifetime. If you end up sitting on the sofa every single night watching television or whatever it is that you do at night that is not following in the footsteps of where your passion is essentially leading you, you won't be able to do it. No way. No how. So, my last words to you. If this were your last moment on this earth, would you be satisfied with the contribution that you have left to this earth, to the people on this earth, to this planet, to the future? The children that are alive right now, can they follow in your footsteps easily? Can they look up to you right now and say, thank you? Thank you for giving me direction. Thank you for helping me understand who I am. If you can't do that for yourself, there is absolutely no way that the future can do that based off of your actions. We do not live our lives for ourselves. If you think you do, if you think you get an education for yourself, if you think you get a job for yourself, if you think you buy a house for yourself, you think you buy a car or go on vacation or get all kind of luxuries in your life for yourself, you are way off. Everything you do in your life is not just for you. It is for your family, your friends. It is for all of the people who came before you, and is most definitely for all of the people that will come ahead of you. The children alive today are the ones who will fill your shoes. Are they big enough, or will it be real easy to fill your shoes? I suggest you break the patterns in your life so that you can figure out who it is that you are on this planet, who you are as an individual, and what your contribution is meant to be. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen a week. It's going to happen for the rest of your life. This is my message to you today on the Justin Flinner podcast, coming to you live from Northern Virginia by My Metro Medicine. Keep a lookout for upcoming episodes of the Justin Flinner podcast each week, and make sure you tune in to any of the Ask the Expert interviews that we have posted on here as well and on our YouTube channel. If you are interested in learning more and helping to break the patterns in your own life, we are here to help you. We are not out here to just talk and leave you on your own. We actually live up to our word. We do our best to do it ourselves, and we will definitely do our best to help you. So please reach out to us. You can find our email in the description of this podcast. You can also find our phone number there. It's 202-505-2805. Call us anytime. Send me a message through Facebook Messenger anytime, 24/7. If I can't get to it because I'm snoozing, I will most certainly get to it as soon as I wake up. Contact me anytime. I am here for you. We are here for you. Because My Metro Medicine is not just mine, it is yours. It is your Metro Medicine. What I really and truly hope that I can get out to all of you through my clinic, through my podcast, through my videos, is to help you understand who you are, what it is that you are truly capable of. Acupuncture is just one little thing that I do. Tai Chi is just one little thing that I do. Self-defense is just one little thing that I do. All of these things related to health do not match up to the passion and belief and devotion that I have to truly helping everyone, as many people as I possibly can, to figure out who you are and what it is that you are capable of in this lifetime. I will do it right alongside you because I learn a little bit from you, while I hope that you learn a little bit from me. Again, I'm Justin Flinner, and this is the Justin Flinner Podcast. Have an awesome day. Go break your patterns. This podcast is brought to you by My Mentor Medicine, an organization that is dedicated to helping people improve their lives by learning to empower themselves and take control of their own life. Any form of reproduction or distribution of this podcast is strictly prohibited. Should you have any questions on using this podcast or information that is contained within this podcast, please write to info@mymentormedicine.com.